It's cold and wet. It wasn't meant to rain. First winter riding tip: always arrange to meet people when you're riding outside, because if I'd not arranged this to meet my friends, then I would not be out riding right now. I would be still snuggled up in bed. But it gives you that extra motivation to get out when you've committed to it. So I'm committed. I'm riding in the rain to go meet them. Always plan a little cafe stop, because it'd just be so much nicer just be able to get in out of the cold for a little bit, warm up. And then also as well, like, I feel like in winter I definitely don't eat or drink as much as I should do, because it's just faffy when you've got big gloves on. It's harder to get food in and out, and yeah, so always plan a cafe stop, because then also it means that then you will be able to ride better and just enjoy it more.
This is a picture. Subscribe is what I see.
It's cold! Right, next one is, this is like the opposite of what I would normally suggest and recommend, and that is, I guess what I would normally recommend is go on adventures, like explore new places. But actually I feel like in winter and winter rides, I actually stick to the same routes, because I kind of know where the potholes are, and so if it's been raining, like, you kind of know where they are, and I know the conditions, and I kind of know what to expect. So it sounds really boring, but yeah, that's what we've done today. Not a boring ride or boring route, but it's just one that we know well. For example, Duff Stones, if it's like above a certain, like, I would say like 15 miles an hour, I don't go up there because I think it's going to be too windy. I guess in winter as well, I kind of stick to doing flatter rides, but at a faster pace. Bit boring, but it's just about getting out when you can in the colder weather, because I still love getting outside. Oh, also also, this is going to be like a little variation on that. If you do want to get like more variation and more adventure, just do your same routes the opposite way around, because you kind of know what the conditions are going to be like. You know where the wind's going to hit, so you're just going to have a tailwind on the bits where you know you're always going to get a headwind. So that's what I do as well, just because I feel like it's, I don't know, just more familiar in winter, to not go crazy. If the weather can change, you kind of know what to expect. I don't think that makes sense, but you know what I mean. All right, riding back home now. Bye. See ya indoors. So I'm indoors. It's actually the day after. Not doing 2 rides in a day. That would be crazy. But for me, this is where I do most of my winter training, and that is indoors on the turbo using Zwift. I absolutely love Zwift. I'll do some more videos. I've actually got a whole series of that linked below. Go and have a look at that. But today is about the turbo setup, and I feel like there are different price points depending on how much you're going to turbo, but because it is the bulk of my winter training and just my way of socialising, keeping fit, and then actually just keeping sane, because I really miss riding my bike when the weather is icy, snowy, and really rainy and windy, and I can't get outside. And that is why I've updated my Zwift setup. This is the ultimate. This is not what everyone has. You can still get an amazing workout turbo session with all the turbo trainers. I've done videos on the Tax Flow, which is the cheapest smart trainer you can get. I'll leave that below. Also the Tax Neo 2T, an incredible, like, you put your own bike on that. So you might remember about a year ago, oh God, was it a year? It's actually coming up to exactly a year, 'cause it's almost my dad's birthday again. I got my dad this bike because I wanted him to use it for him, but also it meant that when I went back to my parents, I had somewhere to like turbo train, because it's really easily adjustable for 2 people using it. So it's got between 165 and 175 cranks. Also, it's really easy to adjust the saddle height, forward and back, and also the handlebars, how far or close away they are. Really, really good if there are a couple of you that are wanting to turbo train in one house and you don't have space for like maybe 2 turbo setups. Perfect for that. Right, let's go. Heart rate monitor. This is a Garmin. I'll leave a link to it below. Best, softest heart rate monitor I've ever worn. It's so like, some of them are like, I find that are really scratchy. And the reason that I use heart rate is I think specifically in winter it's important because I feel like when your heart rate is higher than it would be normally, that's like an indication to me that I might be getting sick or getting a cold or just feeling a bit under the weather. So I always wear a heart rate monitor indoors. Film while I'm on the bike so you can actually hear how quiet it is, because this is the main thing about this bike. It is ridiculously quiet. So if you're in like me, top floor, like flat apartment, so quiet. One of the main things that I really love about it is you've got a display. So if you don't want to pair it to Zwift, you can actually just use it from there. How quiet is that? And I think that is one of the main reasons that I love this bike setup, because it's really quiet. Yeah, the shifting is really smooth. So the problem that I found with having a bike, like there's nothing wrong with having your own bike on the turbo, but it means that your indexing has to always be pretty accurate unless you want it to like grind, because that's where the noise comes from when you're on like a bike on trainer, is from the drive chain. And this is actually silent. Just doing like a really hard effort, hang on. So quiet. Also, another good thing about the bike is you don't have to use it with power. So if you've got somewhere outdoors that you want to have like a pain cave set up, you can do that. There's so many features. So you've got like, I think it's up to 25% gradient feel, 2,200 watt maximum. You've got fans, you've got the inbuilt computer, you've got like a little tray to store everything. All the adjustability, like the feel of it is just so smooth. But the thing that I like the most is underneath it, there's some lights, and depending on how much power you're putting down, it changes colour. The thing that I get most excited about is, oh, it just looks pretty, there's nice lights, especially when you're in like a really early morning and it's dark. Oh, it feels like your very own little spin class disco. And as much as I love it for like my turbo sessions and like intervals, the thing that I'm most excited to use it for is racing, where gear shifting and yeah, obviously just changing gear is much more important. Oh, and I didn't mention this before, but the other thing that I really love about this is you can set up the gearing using the app to replicate your outdoor gearing. So whether that's SRAM or Shimano, you can set up exactly the gearing that you have outdoors on the indoor one. I just think that makes it more realistic for when you do go outside. So you're doing all your winter turbo training, then when you get outside it just feels the same, the gearing wise anyway. Okay. Now a lot of people, turbo training isn't for them. You don't have to do it loads, you don't have to do it every day, absolutely not every day. But the main thing, oh gosh, sorry, I can't breathe, is consistency. I've got like a little thing on my monitor, it says consistency is more important than perfection. So just doing a little bit every week will make the difference basically. So when you come back into like spring and riding outside again, you'll just not feel as like lethargic or as unfit. So just do a little bit over winter. Well, I'll leave a link to the bike and the other turbos and the other videos, everything I've mentioned in this video, in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.